is the American dream? Is it a beautiful home, a beautiful wife, a boat, a yacht, a condo on a beautiful beach? In New Jersey, they think it's a shopping mall. So today we're going to explore the American Dream Mall here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And we'll take a look at the amusement park and some of the shops and everything. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe down below. Thank you to the current YouTube and Patreon members. Let's go. We are starting out our journey to the amusement park. You've got the ticket booth right there for the parking garage, or the parking garage pay center. And no, those are not Christmas trees. I think they're just part of the overall design. They have these really amazing information booths right here. Touchscreen. This is the rich part of the mall with Gucci and Balenciaga. It's so fancy. Alright, so I'm not going to waste your guys' time and bore you to death with a 20-minute long mall tour, but I'll just say that the architecture and design in this place is fantastic. Like this fountain over here, if you put your hand next to it, it changes colors for the water streams. I call this part of the mall the rich people area because it has all the high-end brands like Gucci and Prada and all that, Saint Laurent. Anyway, a lot of the mall actually still isn't leased out. You see those walls on the left side that we just passed with the butterflies. Those are actually all empty storefronts still. The mall claims to be 87% leased out, but I don't know if I believe it. Anyway, this is a fantastic piece of art right here. It's a gorilla made out of spark plugs. And also what you'll find when you go to this mall is there's plenty of random seating areas like the one we just passed for you to sit down and just kind of take in the view. It is a really long walk though. Don't do what we did and park in the furthest away parking garage because it was a hike. The whole mall is basically one giant long hallway with a circle on the end down where the amusement park and water park area is. There's also the Coca-Cola food court if you're looking for something to eat. They had a ton of options and a lot of different price ranges. Like they had a Wendy's in there too, which I thought was kind of funny but also awesome. And so you're going to have a long walk if you do what we did, but at least you'll get to enjoy the beautiful public areas of the mall and all the different seating areas like I mentioned. They also have an Apple store if you need to get an iPhone or something like that. There's just so many different things to see and do in this mall, but just be ready to walk. Coming up here, you're going to see your indoor ice skating rink, which just happens to be kind of right below where the giant Ferris wheel is. The giant Ferris wheel has stunning views of the New York City skyline, but it did look kind of expensive, so we skipped it for the day. But yeah, there's a huge variety, and there's a lot of experiences too, like the Sesame Street Learn and Play. There's a bubble experience that I'm going to be making a video about later. I think it was called Bubble World. And yeah, so in addition to traditional shopping and the amusement parks, there's just a ton of different activities for you to do in the mall. And they also have one of the few Toys R Us in the country. Toys R Us is kind of trying to have a rebirth. So yeah, there's our walking tour of the mall. We've reached the ticket area of the Nickelodeon universe. This is the line you're going to be waiting in at some point when you check in. And here is the atrium. I believe this is Court G. The architecture of this mall is just crazy. Like, whoever designed this place, number one, they went with a lot of white paint, and number two, there's a lot of open space. Welcome to Nickelodeon Universe at the American Dream Mall. And the point of this video, I'm going to take you guys all around the Nickelodeon Universe. We'll go in a full circle around the facility so that you guys can see it, and hopefully it helps you plan for your trip. All right, so your trip around Nickelodeon Universe will probably begin at this escalator, which comes down from the main shopping mall. However, if you have a stroller or someone with a disability who can't necessarily walk or ride the escalator, you're going to be riding the elevator, and there's only one, and it's very, very loaded during the day, and it's kind of behind the staircase here, so just keep that in mind. You have the arcade over here, There's a decent number of games, but let's be honest, the whole point of this place is not necessarily an arcade. It's the rides. You have a really gentle train ride here for kids that kind of goes around a big portion of the park. We haven't been on it yet today, but it's definitely in the plans if the line is not too long. There's lockers right here as you come down from the escalator where you can put in stuff. Let's go check the pricing just to show you guys real quick. So the locker rentals, a small is $12, medium $16, large $22, and it allows multiple re-entries. We went on this ride first today. It was cool, but a little barf-inducing if you ask me. We've got a Paw Patrol themed Ferris wheel over here. And Zoomers is what it's called. There's little digital display boards in front of all the rides that give you more details about them and even tell you what the estimated wait time is. I haven't seen any of them go above 5 minutes yet today, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough. This ride brings back particular nostalgia for me as having grown up in the 90s. It's a reptar themed carousel that'll go around with the dinosaurs on it. And it's got the reptar car for the bench seat. That's very cool. There's also claw machines spread out throughout the whole facility, which is really awesome. This area over to the left here is the Paw Patrol Playland, or playground, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's a huge jungle gym for kids. So what I'll do real quick is I'll cut in and just kind of show you guys a little bit of the inside of the Paw Patrol play area. We're inside the Paw Patrol playground area. There's so many slides, and this is one of the biggest kids' playlands I've ever seen. Like, I don't think it can get much bigger than this, realistically. It would need an elevator. I love the Let's Dig It sign. I mean, it's right on theme, since that's a bulldozer. It's got the bulldozer theming there.
Where are my children?
I mean, look at all the levels. It's crazy. And there's a Paw Patrol bus over there. And there's like a whole underground section you can walk through. Or under the building section to walk through, I guess you would say. This is wild. Doesn't seem to really go anywhere though. Here's the playground rules for you. This is crazy. Now that you've seen the Paw Patrol play area, this is the entrance to the train tracks up here. Looks like the line's actually not too bad right now. It's called the Fairly Odd Airways, even though it's a train. Oh no, I see, that's a separate ride down there. It's model airplanes that go around in a circle for the kids. You got the Crosstown Express, which we also rode earlier. It's a Bikini Bottom themed bus line ride. Here's another look at the Paw Patrol Playland area down that way. There's a whole bunch of these little food stands here, and the pricing ranges from okay to kind of crazy. We paid, I think it was $12 for a bucket of popcorn, which, in all things considered, isn't terrible. More vending machine, claw machines. This is your typical carnival swing ride here. And it's jellyfish themed, like you would see in SpongeBob. Yeah, this crazy thing that turns you all sorts of directions. It looks interesting. I would consider riding it. It's called the Angie's Air Gliders. And this is another roller coaster here called the Shredder, where you get on it and it turns you all sorts of different directions while you're going around the roller coaster. And honestly, it's one of the better coasters I've been on today. I'll show you another one a little later on, but yeah, it was fun because you never knew what direction you were going. As you can see, one of the cars kind of spinning around there. You never know which direction you're going to spin, and if you're about to drop down a hill, it's really, it just makes the ride really interesting. Here's a car coming around right now. Now, the green roller coaster is the one you see way over there. I'll try to zoom in a little bit for you. Give me just a second. There we go. The green roller coaster has more than a 90-degree drop, and it looks spectacular, but unfortunately it's down for maintenance right now. And that's, in reading the reviews about this park, one of the things I read was that a lot of the bigger roller coasters are frequently closed for maintenance or maintenance issues or something like that. American Dream Mall itself has gone through numerous developers. The project for this building and the whole mall was started in the early 2000s, and the original developer couldn't get it finished, so it was sold to another. The building sat empty for a while, and then they started again, and I think they're on their third developer now, but don't quote me on that. Half-Pipe of Havoc. Timmys Half-Pipe of Havoc, okay. So basically on this ride, you start way up it throws you way up in the air on both directions, kind of like a boomerang. You got the Atom Smasher over here, which is kind of like another Tilt-A-Whirl, but on steroids. So when you come around here, the line takes you in and you get put in the car. Hopefully we get to see this running in a little while. Invader Zims Flip and Spin of Doom appears to be another roller coaster that is not running at the moment. So basically, when you're in the park and you're in the front is where you'll find a lot of the younger rides, or rides for younger kids. The bigger rides all seem to be in the back of the building here. Oh, Sandy. This ride's actually Sandy's Blasting Bronco. This purple one here that's not running. I did read that on the website. So we'll continue with our semicircle around the park here. Now this is what I call a ropes course. This thing darn near goes all the way up to the ceiling, which is impressive because, especially in this part of the park, the ceilings are like easily 50, 60 feet high, maybe more. I don't know, I'm not good at measuring with my eyeballs, I guess. And if you grew up in the 90s, I got another throwback piece for you here. The Legends of the Hidden Temple was basically a competition show where they would have to go through a giant obstacle course. And part of the show was they had this big talking head that would give like instructions or details of the challenge. Coming around this direction, you have another ride that takes kids up in the air and spins you around. It's called the Clumpy Bubbler. From the Bubble Guppy show. Oh, wow. So this is the Skyline Screamer, as they have characters here from Hey Arnold. But this ride goes up beyond the ceiling line, and this is probably the tallest point in the whole park right there. And hey, if the firing of firing of staff recently has closed your national park, you could come here and go on this ride. It's called National Park. Now that looks truly horrifying. I'll probably go on it, but I may not enjoy it. Wow. So we've gone in a circle around all the bigger rides. This is the other coaster I've done so far today, called the Slime Streak. And it was fun, it was great. The first drop hill especially was wild, but it was kind of short. I had to wait in a really long line for it, and overall the rest of the ride was kind of a little underwhelming, but the first drop hill was really spectacular, so I enjoyed it. My daughter did too. The nice thing that I really appreciate about this park is the fact that many of the rides can accommodate much younger children. Like, I have a 5-year-old daughter, and she's been able to go on, I would say, a majority of the rides that she wanted to go on. The escalator you see right there going up, and the elevator is a separate private space for birthday parties and other events up there. So, you know, if you're planning a birthday party, this could be a viable option for you. We're on the opposite side of the Paw Patrol Playland right now. The Ninja Turtles are rocking it out.
Let's do it. Let's try that.
We've got a classic carnival game over here, the Pop Patrol. And I missed it on our way when we were over there, but there's a Snail Raceway game as well. This next ride over here, Ren and Stimpy's Space Madness, is another ride that my daughter particularly enjoyed. It's one of those rides where it takes you all the way up to the top of the tower and then kind of cuts you loose and you drop all the way back down. But this one bounced you around at different intervals as well, so it was kind of cool. And again, going with the theme of the younger kids' rides being near the front of the park, you have this monster truck rally ride over here. Basically, all it does is take you in a circle. And you got Blues Skidoo over here, based on the children's TV show Blue's Clues. And now, basically, we're back at the front of the park. And it does get very, very crowded in here from what I've seen and been told and read. So it might be worth buying the Express Pass. I forget the name of it, but they have a pass where you can pay to skip the line. Well, there you go, guys. There's a full walkthrough of the Nickelodeon universe here at the American Dream Mall. We're in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And like I mentioned in the intro, if you guys could give the video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, it would really help us out. Thank you.